When fans call a superstar sick, it's not a compliment anymore. I'm Chris Wolvie, the wrestling blogger who always tells it like it is. Ever since we first heard of COVID-19, known to the headline writers as the coronavirus, we've been wondering about it and how it would affect our lives. At first it didn't, at least not in America, but as most diseases seem to do, the virus spread around the globe and eventually touched down the US like a parasitic version of the Beatles. And like the Beatles, the mania spread like wildfires ahead of the virus. Soap, hand sanitizer, face masks, they're flying off the shelves. Especially at the Walmart where I currently work. Everybody seems to be freaking out. Me, I was and still am mildly cautious. I admit to using hand sanitizer a bit more often than usual, and I wash my hands in the bathroom all the time, so that hasn't changed. Everyone's saying the same thing. Wash those hands, keep said hands from faces, get checked if you feel sick, and everything will be fine. That's how I've been living and still intend to live. But now the virus is taking on things that are supposed to help us forget about the virus. TV shows like Wheel of Fortune, Jeopardy, and pretty much all the late night talk shows from The Daily Show on down have announced that they won't have studio audiences. The Price is Right and Let's Make a Deal is shut down completely. Conventions and expos like E3 have been canceled. People aren't flying as much as they used to. St. Patrick's Day parades have been canceled. Hell, the entire country of Italy is in lockdown for a while. And the fact that the World Health Organization now considers the coronavirus a full-fledged pandemic has further brought panic, including the president restricting all travel between the US and Europe, though he's changed that, he corrected that. Because it's odd, considering A, the virus is already here, and B, it started in Asia, and thus keeping Europe away ain't helping much. And sports are being affected as well. College basketball tournaments, up to and including the NCAA basketball tournament, have been canceled. The NBA and the NHL have put their seasons on hold until they can get a grasp of things. Major League Baseball is postponing its opening day for at least 2 weeks, maybe as far as May. The MLS is stopping for a month. NASCAR had considered racing without the wooing fans in the stands and infield, but they also canceled races. Even the XFL has ended its season due to this. And seeing as how it was only halfway done and the ratings were kind of meh, it may not even last as long as the AAF did last year. And sadly, the WWE is not immune. As you've seen, Friday Night SmackDown did not take place in Detroit as scheduled, but rather moved to an empty WWE Performance Center in Orlando. And Raw is going to do the same thing this Monday night. Live events, like one in Madison Square Garden next Sunday, have been canceled. And now they're considering what to do about WrestleMania in Tampa in 3 weeks. Currently, the officials say they're still committed to putting it on as scheduled, though they state they have contingencies in place in case the city of Tampa, the state of Florida, or even the feds force them to go elsewhere. Tampa has given the WWE a week to make a solid decision on whether the show will go on or not, or they'll decide for them. And rumor is they're going to shut it down. Will they cancel the Showcase of the Immortals for the first time in the 36-year history? I hope not, but I can understand if they do. Now that it's a pandemic, people are taking this virus very seriously. And having 80,000 people in one place, even though it's an outdoor venue, is not conducive to good health these days. But part of me thinks that anyone who goes to these events knows the risk. And anyone who has the virus or is scared spitless about getting it should be smart enough not to go. or at the very least have a face mask over their mouth and a full bottle of Purell in their pocket. Now, Florida Governor Ron DeSantis has recommended, not ordered, mind you, a ban on large gatherings of people. Other states like New York have ordered bans, but DeSantis is leaving it in the hands of local officials. And as stated, those in the Tampa area have left it to the WWE to decide to either keep it going or use their contingencies. If the WWE goes through with this, they should make it abundantly clear that those who go to WrestleMania do so at their own risk. People may think of pro wrestling fans as dumb as bricks, but that's not true. I'm sure the fans, even those who paid thousands upon thousands of dollars for this once-of-a-lifetime opportunity, know they could possibly get a potential deadly virus should they go. They have to decide what is best for them. And if they somehow get the virus, they should be aware it's their own fault. I guess the fortunate thing is that here in Florida, the number of confirmed cases for COVID-19 is relatively low in comparison to those like Washington State and New York State. About 50 cases so far and only 2 deaths, though those men that died were in their 70s. Maybe the WWE will think that most of the people going to WrestleMania will be relatively robust and can handle the virus even if they get it. Just as long as they don't spread it around, that might be enough for them. Either way, there's little doubt that Vince McMahon, Paul Triple H Levesque, and the rest of the higher-ups at the building formerly known as Titan Tower have plans should the excrement strike the oscillating air mover or miss entirely. I'm sure the decision they make will be in the best interest of the superstars, the crew, and most importantly, the fans. They don't want the WWE Universe thinking they deliberately put them in harm's way. If major sports in America, and indeed the world, have halted because of the disease straight out of Wuhan, the WWE needs to decide soon if they should follow suit or pick up the slack for a freaked-out globe. Before I finish, please get the correct info on COVID-19 from cdc.gov. Do not fall for the scare tactics of news outlets and internet outlets that are only out to extend their viewership. It's why you can't find a scrap of toilet paper anywhere now. And if you have any of the symptoms, fever, coughing, and or shortness of breath, get yourself checked out. And if you have it, stay at home until it goes away. If you have the virus and tickets to WrestleMania, well, it's up to you. Personally, I'd sell the tickets and stay at home. I'm sure it'll be back in Florida in a few more years. WrestleMania, not the virus. Stay safe, everyone. I'm Chris Wolvie, the wrestling vlogger who always tells it like it is. See ya.